Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. This is episode 256 and technically your Christmas edition of the Music Mondays podcast, man. Let's get into it. Hope you're well. Hope you're chilling. Hope you had a really good week. My week was fucking absolutely insane, my friends. Well, my week was pretty good, but the weekend was like absolutely crazy because I hosted a speedrunning event on Saturday, and then we dropped the album on Friday. It was a very, very busy week for the kid. But like I said, I hope you all had a good week. Hope you're chilling. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're all celebrating some holidays with your family and friends and all that good jazz. We got Christmas coming up this Thursday, which is kind of exciting. I'm excited for sure. And then anybody celebrating anything that you do celebrate, not just Christmas or anything like that. But um, let's see here. So, first things first, I want to dive into some weekly recap stuff. I want to talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next couple of weeks. We're going to talk recruiting. We're going to talk SoundCloud exclusives. And then we're going to give an update on the Curing Cases of the Mondays album, which is out right now. So definitely go stream that for sure if you're interested. But, let's get into it, my friends. So, let's start off with some weekly recap jazz. Per usual, Music Monday's basic logo t-shirts are available and in stock right now. We do have smalls, mediums, and larges. $20 including shipping, United States only. Of course, just to make sure you guys don't get robbed on shipping costs, right? But we still do have some smalls, mediums, and larges. So again, if you're interested in purchasing one of those, definitely let us know. You'll see another one of those posts go out before the end of the year, detailing the current Music Monday's merch inventory. And of course, every Tuesday following the live show, Music Monday's early access Patreon content goes live. So again, live show, and you want to go check it out, you want to go record it, you want to go download it, you want to go clip it or anything like that, that is available every single Tuesday on the Music Monday's Patreon. So definitely go check that out. Go show that some love, of course. And again, that does drop every single Tuesday. And huge shout out to all of our current Music Monday's Patreons, man. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Getting into Deeper Tuesday, Music Monday's recruiting flyer is currently live on also. So again, that flyer did go out again. If you missed it, definitely go check that out and go shout out some love. And if you're interested in joining the Music Monday staff team, we are recruiting for all staff roles. And again, we'll talk about that here later in the show. But again, the Music Monday's recruiting flyer is available right now on all of our socials. That was Tuesday, heading into Wednesday. SoundCloud Sunday submissions open every single Wednesday. So again, make sure you follow us on social media, stay up to date with all of our playlist submissions, all of our podcast submissions, and all that good jazz. Definitely keep your eyes peeled. And again, we finished off Wednesday with some Music Monday's audio podcast promo. That is available right now on all of our social media for the following day, as the audio version of the show does drop every single Thursday. And speaking of which, heading into Thursday, episode 255 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on all audio platforms: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, we are available. So definitely check that out and go shout out some love. And huge shout out to everybody that did submit episode 255. You guys are awesome. Then finishing off Thursday, we did upload a brand new YouTube upload from last week's show, episode 255, where we talk about the closing of the submissions for Curing Cases of Mondays Collection 3. So if you missed that segment from episode 255, definitely go check that out and go shout out some love. That is available on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. And we do upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. So that was Thursday. Heading into Friday, brand new article detailing Curing Case of the Mondays is available right now on Music Mondays homepage. That was written by me, of course, so definitely go check that out and go show that some love. And we'll actually have another article dropping this week from the homie, I don't know, Young Jay. So lots of written pieces coming out recently. So definitely go check out the Music Mondays homepage because we're pretty stacked up over there, if I do say so myself, my friends. So that was Friday, and then of course on Friday, Curing Case of the Mondays Collection 3 did drop. So huge shout out to everybody that did submit for that, and huge shout out to everybody that did support that album. Collection 3 is available right now on the Music Monday SoundCloud. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love. It's a fucking banger project. Probably one of my favorite ones so far. I would say like top 2. Like the original is pretty insane. So like you gotta have some bias there. Collection 2 is also really good, but Collection 3 is just like so mature. You know what I mean? So definitely go check out Curing Case of the Mondays Collection 3, and we'll talk about that here again shortly before we dive into some reactions and reviews. So that was Friday. Heading into Saturday, episode 255 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So again, if you missed the Music Mondays podcast, that does go live every single Saturday on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. Or if you prefer the YouTube version of the Music Mondays podcast, again, that does drop every single Saturday. And huge shout out to everybody that does support the show over there on YouTube. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was Saturday. Heading into Sunday. SoundCloud Sunday Volume 218 is available right now on the Music Monday SoundCloud. That was curated by me, and the cover art was done by me as well. Huge shout out to everybody that did submit to SoundCloud Sunday Volume 218. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friends. We're slowly climbing up there in the numbers for SoundCloud Sunday, which is pretty fucking crazy. But again, submissions do open every single Wednesday for SoundCloud Sunday. And again, if you get placed on SoundCloud Sunday, make sure you show some love. Make sure you show your friends, and make sure you show anybody that is kind of interested in underground music. SoundCloud Sunday, my friends. So that was Sunday. That takes us into today, Monday, December 22nd, 2025, episode 256 of the Music Mondays podcast. Let's fucking get it, baby. That was your weekly recap. That's pretty much everything you missed at Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so, or the course of the last week or so, I should say. But again, the biggest thing there being the new album, Curing Case of the Mondays Collection 3, that is available right now on the Music Monday SoundCloud. Let's see here. So that's that. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. So, big things coming still here on Music Mondays. Even though we did just drop an album, we're not slowing down, actually. So, when it comes down to what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so, now our next big event is the Music Mondays Awards. So again, we're currently getting some nominations ready, finalizing some graphics, and getting some dates ready. So you should hear about all that over the course of the next week or so. I should have pretty much everything finalized by next week when it comes down to graphics and nominations. But yeah, that's the next big thing, the 2024 Music Mondays Awards. So that'll be interesting. Outside of getting that ready, I think the next big thing is getting some 2026 graphics ready. Because again, as you guys know, every year we like to refresh the graphics when it comes down to all of our social media posts and whatnot, right? You know, obviously we're not going to change the logo or anything, but when it comes down to our graphics for the Music Mondays podcast, the Patreon, things like that, we're all that's going to get a refresh as well. Things like the weekly recap and stuff. So that'll be another big thing that comes over the course of the next couple of weeks as well, heading into 2026. And then outside of that, a lot of your monthly and weekly content will be staying the same. YouTube uploads, exclusive segments, podcast episodes, submissions, playlists, things like that. A lot of that will be staying the same. And then again, a lot of our older SoundCloud playlists will be coming back to things like Underground Classics, the monthly, all that good jazz. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. But again, we're looking to go into 2026 very, very strong for sure. So that's pretty much everything major coming over the course of next week or so. And of course, I'll be updating you guys weekly here on the show when it comes down to what's coming or what's going down in the background at Music Mondays, right? So very important. But that's weekly recap jazz. And then that's what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. So we went over those two things. Let's see what else we got to do. Let's talk recruiting. So, per usual, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for all of our Music Mondays staff roles. If you're a writer, journalist, curator, designer, you want to do short form content, you want to do long form content, you want to do any type of content for Music Mondays, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email, or you can contact me as well. Again, we are recruiting for all of our staff roles. And if you're interested in any more detail when it comes down to all of our Music Mondays staff roles, we do have a 2025 role guide on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, where I kind of detail your content, your schedule, and things like that, and when it comes down to officially being on the Music Monday staff team, right? So if you want any more details, that is available over there. And of course, you can send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'll be happy to have that conversation with you, my friends. Especially heading into 2026, we're going to be doubling down on recruiting a lot more as well, for sure, because we're looking to fill out the staff team with at least a few more slots, right? So that's recruiting. The Music Mondays role guide as well will be updated for 2026, so keep that in mind. So that'll be coming over the course of the next week or so as well. And then heading into the next thing here, so that's recruiting. Outside of that, Music Mondays is still on the hunt for some SoundCloud exclusives. So again, if you have an unreleased SoundCloud track that you like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Mondays SoundCloud for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We definitely love to have something hosted for you, and of course for completely free across all of our social media, including our Music Mondays SoundCloud as well. Right? Again, we're only interested in unreleased material, so just keep that in mind. Again, feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards. If you want to go do a music video for it, you want to go put it on DSPs or anything like that, that's completely fine. But again, we are only interested in unreleased material. Same goes for the Music Mondays YouTube channel. If you'd like to have something hosted and promoted for completely free, and of course on our channel of almost 400 subscribers, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. That goes for music videos, lyric videos, audio, or anything like that you'd like to have hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So again, we are on the hunt for exclusives on both of those platforms. So again, completely free. Definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. All right, so that's good. That's pretty much everything super major. I think one last thing I want to talk about is Carrying Case of the Mondays Collection 3 that actually dropped this past Friday on December 19th. Let's fucking go. So when it comes down to Carrying Case of the Mondays Collection 3, that is our third exclusive SoundCloud album compiled of completely unreleased material from very, very various and talented underground artists, right? And again, if you ask my opinion about it, that's probably one of my favorites when it comes down to Carrying Case of the Mondays, just because it sounds so mature. It has a lot of returning artists, has a lot of new faces. So I think that's what's really, really fucking solid about it. But again, Carrying Case of the Mondays Collection 3 is available right now on the Music Monday SoundCloud. Definitely go show everybody on that album some fucking love. Huge shout out to everybody that did submit to Carrying Case of the Mondays Collection 3. Anybody that wanted to be part of it, you guys are fucking amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolute fucking banger. A few of these segments will be uploaded on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, so definitely make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 340 subscribers on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So again, make sure you go check that out and show that some love. We do upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends, well done. Well done. All right, so big things here. Let's head over to our submissions and go check out Twitter and see what we got over here, my friends. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. All right, so per usual, submissions are always in the same format every single week, and they do always read. Artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays live on December 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Twitch.tv/Zom plays. And again, the only thing that does change about this format is the date, so make sure you're submitting for a show that hasn't happened yet. Submissions do open every single Tuesday following the live show, so just keep that in mind. Then, of course, outside of that, if you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. We do have a 3-hour show limit. And again, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we react to pretty much everything here on the show. Everything from vocals, obviously, to remixes, to covers, to acoustic covers, to instrumentals, to photography, to videography, to unreleased, to merchandise, to so many things here on Music Mondays. So again, if you feel like you deserve some spotlight here on the Music Mondays podcast, feel free to drop any of your creations and portfolios below. And again, like I said, we do have a 3-hour show limit, so keep that in mind. We do like to keep the show a little bit more palatable to watch back, because again, one could argue that a 3-hour show is still a little bit long to watch back, but it's definitely not as long as some of our earlier shows where we used to do up to like 5 to 6 hours, which was fucking crazy. So again, keep that in mind. We do have a 3-hour show limit. Submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following the Music Mondays Twitter page to be eligible. So again, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you do submit. That not only helps grow our platform and spread our message, but that does actually pay respect to everybody else that does wait for all their submissions to be reacted to every single week here on the show. So again, just keep that in mind. And again, of course, you gain access to a wide variety of wonderful, wonderful creatives when it comes down to Music Mondays. So definitely a win-win. Next thing is Patreon subscriber submissions will be played first every single week here on the show. So again, if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, whether that be basic, advanced, or premium, you gain access to a whole bunch of other goodies, including exclusive unreleased content. And then, of course, on top of that, you gain access to what's called the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which allows you for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays podcast to have all of your submissions played first every single week here on the show. So again, not only are you played at the height of viewership rate, but also when people go and watch the show back, you're one of the first submissions that people do see. So again, kind of an advantage there for sure. But no pressure, and huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons. You guys are fucking wonderful, man. Thank you. Last thing that we do got to mention is that submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts. Again, we are a live show, so we like to keep things free flow and make sure that we have all of our submissions in one place. So that way, when people try to submit late or anything like that, nobody gets cut off and the order doesn't get messed up, because we do like to keep the order completely organic. So again, keep that in mind. About a couple hours before the show starts, submissions do close. Good rule of thumb is that if the show is live, submissions are closed. And again, submissions go live every single Tuesday following the live show. We have about 6.5 or so days to get your submissions in, so plenty of time, my friends, plenty of time. But outside of that, we do have a 2025 How to Submit to the Music Mondays podcast, a guide on our YouTube channel where I dive into the lore of the Music Mondays podcast a little bit deeper. I kind of dive into why we take submissions on Twitter, how the Music Mondays podcast came about, things like that. So if you want to go check that out, that is available on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. And that'll be updated for 2026 as well. So expect one of those videos to drop relatively soon next year, definitely. But that's pretty much everything you need to know, my friends. Let's see how many Patrons we do have tonight. And then we're going to get right into it. So we're going to kick off the show with TDG. And then we're going to dive into Jordan. And then we have the homie Ghost. That's 3 Patrons tonight. I'm down. And then we'll dive into the rest of the community submissions for sure. So we're kicking off the show with TDG, a very, very talented hip-hop artist, has been coming through with some fucking heat recently, and their single run has just been really, really impressive. I say it every time, and I'll never stop saying it. But TDG's progress this year, especially in like the later half of 2025, has been awesome. So this week they submitted a track titled "Good People, Bad Things." Now, this is quite the caption here. Prod performed by me. This is the saddest song I've ever made. I was hooked. I was dead. I didn't know who I was, what I was, and what I wanted to be in life besides another fix. I was on the verge of the edge. Now I'm 29 days sober and back to living. See, that's awesome. That's awesome. People's struggles are always very different compared to one another, and like no matter the situation, it's always different for everybody. So it's one of those things where it's really special to people, and everybody's story is like very unique. You know what I mean? We got TDG in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. The song was made 6 months ago at my lowest point. Let's fucking get it. I'm down. I'm always in the mood for some emotional shit. Let's get into it. Alright, let's give this a quick pause. Get rid of the sidebar here. Good People, Bad Things. December 14th, 2025. So again, this is like hot off the press. But TDG said obviously made 6 months ago. So let's get into it. Good People, Bad Things, TDG, let's go. Cover's great too.
They say it takes time to find direction, but who's to say mine's not another way? I'll close my eyes for eternity, 'cause in my dreams is where you be. The best of times are a blur to me. I left behind who I used to be. I'm still reminded of your memory. Your ghost still haunts me in my dreams.
Good people got some bad things. It's all out there forever asking. It ain't helping, but I'm asking all the shades of my actions. I take drugs till my stomach hurt. Live with the script, monster hearse. Think I'm running out, need another world. Change the place, maybe another world. This ain't how it was, and even then, what it was I didn't love. Wish I could live with none. But when I'm out, I'm feeling not much, maybe none. Yeah, I'll take one. Well, maybe some. Highs give me one. Light up, make a difference, son. On the endless dragon chase, always run. Going everywhere but home. I take drugs when I'm homesick. I'm one
That was a perfect hook too.
from the moment. I'm scared and I must condone it. I make it home with glass walls and no last call. Now I'm zoned in. Days pass and memories go with look back. No place that I'm going. Everything is slowly slipping away. He seems bad, but I still chose it. I'm a good person. I just like bad things.
Good people, bad things, man. It's a really important concept. You know what I mean? Like it's a really important concept because it's true. Like a lot of good people do kind of fall into shitty habits. I mean, if you haven't, you're probably lying or you just haven't yet. You know what I mean? Like whether it's more lighter bad things or it could be like really dark bad things. But I feel like everybody's been there. And like I was saying earlier, like you know, your story when it comes down to that is unique to you, and everybody's experience is different, right? So this was just TDG's story when it comes down to what they experienced, right? So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Good People Bad Things. Really great alt rock sound. But with a lot of like really solid like emo rap elements. It's just one of those really emotional beats anyway. You know what I mean? And of course, Prod TDG. So you could always expect it to be really fucking solid. Um, but I love the choice though. I do love the choice for this. I feel like when you're telling an emotional story like this, you definitely want to go with this type of style, 100%. Um, but I'd say the mix is like really fucking solid. Not really a shocker to me. You know, TDG's mixes are very consistent, especially if you're a frequent viewer of the show. You know that their instrumental mixes are always on point, and this is the same thing here, especially with that 808. Really solid. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Nothing I would like really switch up, especially with the vocals and everything like factored in. Nah, I like the instrument for sure. I do, definitely. Guitar's great. Um, Instrumental Shining Star on the other hand. Uh, hmm. You know, the bias in me wants to say the drums, right? But I do like the guitar a lot too. I feel like the melody's up there for setting the tone. Um, but the drums are so like spaced out that I think that it really does the job too. So in that aspect, I could really argue structure as well. Um, but ultimately, I'm just gonna go with my gut. Let's just say drums, just because I really do enjoy it. 100%. Simple but very effective, very emotional, right? Um, Instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, a very solid TDG mix, and then especially with Cannabino here, they sounded really solid as well. Again, when TDG goes into like their more emotional, personal kind of bag, I feel like they can work with almost anybody. And this case kind of proves it. I like this as a duo, especially like for this sort of style. Um, yeah, I mean, no real gripes with the mix, especially in terms of levels. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing that like throws the song off style wise or anything like that. You know what I mean? Quality's good. So nothing that would like really super switch up on this one. Definitely not. Definitely not. Especially for like such an emotional track, you know? We're both hooked. Yeah, yeah, no, literally. Literally. So like that's like how you can tell that it was like a pure it was a pure kind of connection. Both cleaned out together. See, that's a W. That's a fucking W for sure. That's a big W. That's sick. Cuz you could tell it was that like organic like just lay it all out there kind of connection for sure. 100%. Um so yeah, the mix was great. Vocal shining star. Now, you know, the hook is really solid, especially when it comes back in after the verses. Like the hook is very addicting. Um, but with that said, I would say the writing and lyrics are definitely up there too. I'm not gonna lie, you know, just because they're so personal. Flow and cadence and delivery kind of amplifies that as well. But to be honest, I think writing and lyrics here are too important to kind of ignore, right? So let's go writing and lyrics on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Very passionate. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Um, Fantastic. I mean, very like old school, old timey, but simple and straight to the point. But also, the more you look at it, the more detail you see. You know, like I'm a big fan of these kinds of covers. Um, I feel like the colors also match the sort of feeling that they're going for on this. So for a single, aesthetics wise, I like it a lot. You know, I feel like it has like a hidden message, and it's just one of those ones where, yeah, Wizard of Oz, right, 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 right. But in terms of like good people, bad things, you know, it's always that like double meaning, and that's why this type of shit's like very very sick for sure. So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, I mean, TDG kind of explained it really well here. I mean, this is the saddest song I've ever made. I was hooked, I was dead. I didn't know who I was, and what I want to be in life besides another fix. I was on the verge of the edge, right? Now I'm 29 days ill, right? I mean, you can't get real much deeper than that, and it's real pain on a track. You know what I mean? And I say it to you guys all the time when it comes down to a lot of these emotional tracks, whether it be addiction, it be breakups, it be parent shit, it could be friend shit, it could be anything. Like that's why a lot of this is super important to kind of put on the track and get off your chest. You know, it's very very important to tell your story and tell your journey, not only for your own mental health and to able to to just like get shit off your own chest, right? But it's got the huge potential to help somebody else in the future as well. You know what I mean? So that's the big thing about these songs, man. Like it's a double healing factor for a lot of people, and I think TDG did a really good job with this one for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to TDG. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, by the way, and of course, make sure you go follow TDG on Twitter. They are only 3 followers away from 160s. Make sure you go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Monday's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. Was too scared to drop it the first time ever. Yeah, like a lot of those songs where you put a lot of that shit out there and like on the line is nerve wracking sometimes, for sure. Definitely, I agree. But it's good that you did though. You know, definitely good that you did because it just gets you used to doing it in the future more if you want to. And then like for your own mental health, you know, it's like very like rewarding. I would say is the word. for sure. But we left off with the homie TDG. Up next is the homie Jordan, a very, very talented multi-genre artist and producer. Came through with, I think it is the last track off of their Overlook project that's dropping, I think, this week actually, titled Marigolds. Now, their submissions recently have been fucking crazy, especially with all their guitar work that they've been doing. So let's pop open this in the new tab. Let's see what we got. Let's give it old spinneroonie. All right. Let's see here. So obviously brand new, hot off the press, but this is, I believe, the last track from Overlook, which will be interesting. So I'm down. Let's get into it. Jordan, Marigolds, let's go. Comfortable.
Who let me play this song? Always makes me feel like I wait too long. It just keeps playing on. I hope you made it home.
Oh.
I'll meet you when I can. Still feel the sun warm on my skin. Now there's something in the way. Hope you still feel this love every day. Who let me play this song? Always makes me feel way too long. It just keeps playing on. I know you made it home.
Oh shit. Not only is that mix fucking insane, but I think this might be my favorite one off the project. Like really sitting here and giving it like a good reaction, I really feel like this might be my favorite or like second favorite off the project. This was nutty. This was nutty. And I feel like Jordan's mix on this one in particular is really fucking solid for some reason. I'd have to go back and listen to it back to back again, but I think this mix is very special. Very, very special. And it fits the instrumental style like really fucking well. So wow. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're talking about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and talk about the overall theme of Marigolds. Very subliminal type track here. Very subliminal, but again, very visually um like easy to visualize, I should say. Right. Um so it's like instrumental. Instrumental's fantastic. Again, with the half instrumental intro and then the verse at the end. Again, I love this style out of Jordan. It really fucking goes out of its way to make you feel something, and it just shows the best of both worlds, and the pretty much the best of both sides of Jordan, right? So instrumental's fantastic. Instrumental mix definitely solid. Nothing super clashy to overbearing, especially with like the live guitars. Nothing that would like change on this one. The whole EP as itself has been really fucking solid, so I'm not really surprised here. Um, but yeah, instrumental mix solid, levels good. Vocals sound really great on it. Everything cuts through nicely. Nothing that would like super switch. Um, Instrumental shining star, definitely the structure. Structure, no doubt. I love the instrumental intro. I love when the verse kicks in. And I love the outro. The structure, all day, for sure. Although the melodies are solid too, of course, right? But instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, again, probably one of my favorite vocal mixes on the project. I don't know what Jordan did so different here. Or maybe it's just luck of the draw, and sometimes you just sound better on like certain tracks with like some mixes. It's weird. But I love this vocal mix a lot. It just matches the instrumental, the dark grittiness, the reverbiness to it. It's like really hitting the sweet spot when it comes down to the instrumental. So I'm a big fan of this vocal mix, 100%. Levels are good too. Quality's good. Nothing I would like super switch up here. No way. Um, Vocal shining star on the other hand. Uh, Gotta be the writing, right? I feel like the writing is so descriptive, but like so subliminal at the same time. So I think writing and lyrics for sure, definitely. Instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing, lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Man, I've spoke about this cover quite a few times at this point, but I will say it does give that Overlook abyss sort of insane kind of feeling here, right? I think it's perfect for an EP, and Michael Monago does a really good job with all of their cover art, especially with this one like white, statue type character here that's just always a part of their covers somehow, and it's crazy. So I feel like there's some lore there. But as far as like an EP aesthetic goes, this is fantastic for sure, 100%. Um, Aesthetics on point. Overall theme, marigolds. I mean, again, there's a couple subliminal things here that you could kind of think about, right? And it's a very like lyrically, it's easy to visualize, but it's also very subliminal. So I feel like this is a very personal song to Jordan. And again, if you get a theme out of it and you relate to it, great. But if not, this is one of those ones where you always wonder about the back of your head, you know. But again, it's just very poetic, very like visually pleasing, I would say. And it's one of those ones where you just gotta enjoy for the secretive kind of aspect of it, right? So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on SoundCloud, by the way. They're only 10 followers away from 100, the W milestone. Of course, make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter as well. They're only 5 followers away from 420, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes. Those are segments and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Much love, baby. So, crazy ass submissions tonight, man. We got Ghost in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it. Came in just in time. Just in time. But, yeah, it's been a crazy night so far. It's definitely been a crazy night so far. Well done. Well done. Let's fucking go. Oh, yep. Just in time, baby. Let's get it. So, speaking of the devil, of course, up next we have Ghost, a multi-genre, very, very talented producer. Came through with an Song 16, Co-Prod Diamond. Oh, so we actually have a song here. Okay, I was going to say we have an instrumental, but nah, we're getting a little track from Homie Ghost. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I'm down. Let's get into it. Song 16, 142 BPM, Co-Prod Diamond, Wave 4 album. Not instrumental? Okay, so we got instrumental. Okay. Alright, so we do have some unreleased Ghost instrumental here. Alright. I didn't mean to put song. Okay. Alright, let's get into it. Some unreleased Ghost. Let's go.
Is that Ghost on the beat?
Yeah, that new tag is sick. Whoa. drums are so gnarly. What the fuck? Damn, bro. What the fuck? Yeesh, bro. What the fuck, man? Holy shit. This is for my album I'm gonna be working on for next year. Yeah, see, this is crazy. This is definitely fucking insane. Um, you know, at first I was gonna say drums, and then the structure kind of got me at the end, so it's like, fuck, dude. This one's gonna be tough. This one's gonna be tough, but all right, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're talking about three things here. Or actually, no, sorry, no vocals. So we're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. Or no, we're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this album instrumental, man. Yeah, like this one, Jesus. This one gets you going for sure. Fast pace, hard hitting, but like patterns are insane. I think the sound selection's kind of nutty too, but let's talk mix. So, when it comes down to mix, I think it's near perfect. You know, not really a shocker to me, right? Because we're used to like really solid mixes from Ghost, but something I always want to point out for anybody new here. But the instrumental mix is definitely fucking up there, especially for the drums. It's just like, damn, damn, almost near mint, right? So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Again, this one's kind of tough because at first I wanted to say drums all day, and then we started to get like to the second half of the song, and structure kind of started to pique my interest a little bit. I was like, damn, the structure is pretty fucking nasty on this. So I'm kind of torn between those two, for sure. Although I do like the sound selection on the drums a lot, and the snare is fucking crazy. This one's kind of tough. The structure is up there. Structure's definitely up there, but I think again, I think I'm just gonna go with the gut. I think we gotta say drums, man. Drums are fucking gnarly. The patterns are gnarly. Sound selection's great. And then the structure even just kind of amplifies them more. So I think we're gonna go with drums here. Overall theme, obviously unreleased, so no aesthetics or cover art yet until the album comes out, right? But overall theme, man, this one definitely hits a few different styles here for sure. For sure. This one's a full blown like genre blend, right? And like that's why I'm not like really a big fan of like putting like super labels on stuff. But this one definitely hits a few really like almost dark trap styles. You could kind of argue a few different styles for this one, but this one definitely blends a lot for sure. So, well done. This one was fucking nutty. 100%. Hard hitting and in your face, you know what I mean? Exactly what you want out of this style, for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Ghost on Twitter, by the way. They're only 4 followers away from 550. That's W fucking milestones. Make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all the good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. Album cover's gonna be crazy. I already know what the name is. Yeah, see, that's gonna be sick. I'm excited to see that for sure. I'm definitely excited to see that. Thanks, bro. Thank you for your submission, my friend. Well done. You fucking killed it. Let's fucking go. That was all of our Music Mondays Patrons for the night. So huge shout out to the homie TDG, Jordan, and Ghost, and all of our other Music Mondays Patreon subs. The homie Kale Plant, Dry My Eyes, Kruker, King Mark, everybody over there. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you. But it is time to get into the rest of our community submissions. So we would kick off with TDG. Oh, well, technically we did, but we already reacted to TDG earlier in the show. So make sure you show them some love at the beginning of episode 256. That was a W submission. Up next is the homie Brayden. Again, a multi-genre talented artist and now producer, which is pretty fucking crazy. Came through the second track off of their recent album, Late Nights. Track 2 off a new album. Happy holidays, Music Mondays, and Music Mondays and George. Let's fucking go, man. Happy holidays to you too. Stay safe. Happy holidays. Let's fucking get it, baby. Much love. I fucking love Brayden, man. Such a fucking good vibe. Will be a beat reminding of Valeria's next EP? Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm excited for next week then. I'm definitely excited for next week then. For sure. For sure. But yeah, like I said, Brayden, a multi-genre talented artist and producer, came through the track titled Late Nights. Let's see what we got here. And again, happy holidays, my friend. Let's fucking go. All right. Let's see what we got here. 21 days ago, track 2 off of their recent project, Late Nights. Let's get into it. Fraud now? Damn, yeah, no, literally. Yep, fraud now.
Late nights, girl, I want you. Out of everyone, you're my favorite to talk to. You do you, live your life, and you talk too. I smoke and drink, but nowadays I'm off too. No, I'm down to talk it out if you want to. I don't mean to interrupt, I am not trying to taunt you. I wish that I could talk more freely like a walkthrough. Took a trip to the woods and I walked through. The woods told me that I shouldn't be here. I don't know how I'm feeling, I can't even speak clear. You're the type of girl that I've been trying to be near. I've been scared of too much and I don't need fear. I'm just too scared that I won't do it right. I fucked it up, I fucked you up and then I lose you right. Now I'm going stupid, I wanna be with you, babe. Sticking to a blueprint, I know this ain't no new, babe. At late nights, girl, I want you. Out of everyone, you're my favorite to talk to. You do you, live your life, and you talk too. I smoke and drink, but nowadays I'm off too. No, I'm down to talk it out if you want to. I don't mean to interrupt, I am not trying to taunt you. I wish that I could talk more freely like a walkthrough. Took a trip to the woods and I walked through. I smoked gelato up in Italy. Now I got a bad bitch, she coming from the Philippines. I wish I could talk about it, but nobody listening. They don't understand, I'm trying to make it in the industry. Making songs every day, but they ain't feeling me. They told me I ain't doing much and that's some villainy. I ain't trying to work a 9 to 5, oh silly me. I mean, I don't wanna do it forever cause it's sickening. At late nights, girl, I want you. Out of everyone, you're my favorite to talk to. You do you, live your life, and you talk too. I smoke and drink, but nowadays I'm off too. No, I'm down to talk it out if you want to. I don't mean to interrupt, I am not trying to taunt you. I wish that I could talk more freely like a walkthrough. Took a trip to the woods and I walked through.
Wow. Holy shit. What a sample. That's a W fucking outro right there. That's a W fucking outro. Wow. Well done. Well fucking done. Yeah, this project is gonna be insane. Like, the first track already sounded really fucking mature, but the fact that we have this for track 2 is like, fuck, bro. Okay. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. We're talking about the overall theme of Late Nights. Instrumental, love the choice. Definitely a Brayden style instrumental. I love the samples in the instrumental. Yeah, I just love the choice. It's just a very Brayden style type of instrumental for sure. Instrumental mix, really solid, especially with the sample. Drums are fast paced. Sound selection's great on them. Nothing that I would like really switch up when it comes down to the instrumental mix here. Definitely not. Brayden's known for a very consistent mix across all their songs. You know what I mean? So nothing that I would like fully gripe about here. You know, but something I always want to point out for anybody new. Instrumental Shining Star. Ah, hmm. You know, the sample's up there, but the drums on this one, man, are just fucking gnarly. You know, the drums on this one are just fucking gnarly. So I think the drums are the easy pick here, but I do like the sample and the structure for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. A very interesting vocal mix for this type of song. I figured Braden would have went with a little bit more like effect driven style of a mix here, but I think this one worked really well. It made the vocals pop a lot more and like make you like take them a little bit more serious. So I thought this was an interesting mix here. But it worked really well in my opinion. So vocal mix definitely solid, 100%. And again, nothing super clashy to overbearing. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. So no real gripes when it comes down to quality, right? Vocal Shining Star on the other hand. Uh Flo and Kane's delivery is up there, but I think writing and lyrics are definitely going to be on the money here. I think writing and lyrics are definitely going to be on the fucking money here. Just because it's such like a storytelling type of song, but it's also like, again, it's a very like easy to visualize kind of song just because of how it's told, right? So definitely writing and lyrics on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Again, this was a cover that I really liked from Braden, just because the light coming through the window is crazy. It also keeps that blue sort of color theme here without being like overly blue or just kind of like switching it up a bit, right? Especially when it comes down to these IRL covers. Always a big fan of them. Always a big fan of them. But I think Braden did a good job with this one for sure, especially for a project, right? Especially for a project. Um, Overall theme, relatively solid. I mean, you know, late nights. It's, you know, especially like when you have feelings for somebody or you're kind of going through it, like late nights usually amplify a lot of those feelings, right? And Braden's kind of explaining that here. And also kind of talking their shit as well. So it's a good mix of both things here. And it's a very fast paced song. So I think it's very, very enjoyable from like all angles. You know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Braden. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Braden on SoundCloud. They're only 4 followers away from 390. That's a W fucking milestone. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're only 8 followers or 9 followers away from 30. So make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all the good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you can show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. All right. So, that was crazy. That was a fucking crazy submission, by the way. We got Jacob in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. How are you, my friend? Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Let's fucking get it, baby. All right. So, left off with homie Braden. Up next is actually, I think it's a first time submitting artist, Chris Dashin. Wow. This is actually a first time submitting artist, I think. Chris Dashin. Yeah, no, if we have, it's been a very, very long time. Artist from the West Side Chicago, Shaving Parishes through Sound. Love that bio. That's a great bio, actually. Chris Dashin, Get Up Off Your Ass, Grind Era Demo. Okay, so first time submitting artist. We're going to go in blinds. Completely no expectations. We're going to see what we got here. Not the final version. Just putting this out while I'm in grind mode. Still rebuilding, still learning, still showing up. Looking for feedback on the energy, hook, and delivery. Not worried about the mix or polish right now. Wow, okay. Love that description. I got you. Okay, let's get into it. First time submitting artist, Chris Dashin. Get Up Off Your Ass, Grind Era Demo. So again, just a demo.
Say I gotta get this cash, boy. Get this cash, boy. You better get up off your ass, boy. Ass, boy. I say I gotta get this cash, boy. This cash, boy. You better get up off your ass, boy. Your ass, boy. I say I gotta get this cash, boy. This cash, boy. You better get up off your ass, boy. Your ass, boy. I say I gotta get this cash, boy. This cash, boy. You better get up off your ass, boy. Your ass, boy. This what you want and what you ask for. You ask for, you better get up off your ass, boy. Your ass, boy.
Idle time, my only opposition. I'm assed out, so when in doubt, my only option is optimism. Lord forgive him, he know now that he knows. Don't let the peace get high, don't let the valleys get too low. Pray that my cup overflows and then fill up or below. Put me in front of cameras, a nigga tryna go pro. Say, I gotta get this cash, boy, get this cash, boy. You better get up off your ass, boy. Ass, boy, I say, I gotta get this cash.
GoPro line was sick.
This cash, boy, you better get up off your ass, boy. Your ass, boy, I say, I gotta get this cash, boy. This cash, boy, you better get up off your ass, boy. Your ass, boy, I say, I gotta get this cash, boy. This cash, boy, you better get up off your ass, boy. Your ass, boy, that's what you wanted, what you asked for. You asked for, you better get up off your ass, boy. Your ass, boy, that's what you wanted, what you asked for. You asked for, you better get up off your ass, boy.
If you looking for me up, my niggas up, we out grinding. If you looking for me up, my niggas up, we out grinding. If you looking for me up, my niggas up, we out grinding. If you looking for me up, my niggas up, we out grinding. If you looking for me up, my niggas up, we out grinding. If you looking for me up, my niggas up, we out grinding. If you looking for me up, my niggas up,
This was great.
we out grinding.
Being honest
If
with
you
you.
looking for me up, my niggas up, we out grinding.
Wow. Well done. Especially for a first time spinning artist. That was fantastic. What the fuck? Even with this being a demo, I still enjoyed the mix as well. You know, of course it's gonna get a little bit more polishing, like according to Chris, right? But I still enjoyed the mix. I didn't think the mix was like too crazy. You know what I mean? But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're talking about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. We're talking about the overall theme of "Get Up Off Your Ass." Relatively obvious theme, a very motivational theme, but still gonna break it down for you nonetheless. Instrumental. I love the choice. Vibey, chill, bouncy. Has a good it kind of sets the tone, right? But let's talk instrumental mix. Instrumental mix at the moment actually fantastic. Like especially for the instrumental, I didn't think it was too loud. Levels were good. Quality was good. Nothing I would like ultimately change on the mix. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or I didn't think the instrumental was kind of like bothering anything at all. You know. So current instrumental mix, even with that being a demo in mind, really solid, really solid. So nothing that I thought that was like really off putting or anything like that. Instrumental Shining Star on the other hand. I do like the melody. I think the structure's up there. But if I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it's the drums. The drums are so bouncy on this, and it just makes the vocals and everything else so enjoyable. So I think we're gonna go drums here for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. Again, with this being a demo, we're not gonna dive too deep into the mix, but for where it is at though, I do like it. You know, of course, like Chris said, it's going to get a little bit more polishing later on, but for where it is at, really solid. I mean, levels were good, quality was good. Nothing that I thought was like, really tweaking out the song, right? So, vocal mix definitely out there for sure. They sat nicely on the instrumental, the drums cut through nicely. Nothing that I thought was like, again, really bothersome, Vocal Shining Star on the other hand. I do like the flow and cadence and delivery on this. I think that's up there, you could argue, right? But I think the Shining Star here is writing and lyrics, especially in the verses. I think the writing and lyrics really fucking are just motivational at the end of the day. If nothing else, they're motivational. It's a very motivational style song, and I like that. So I think writing and lyrics here, for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Of course, temporary cover, Get Up Off Your Ass, Grind Air demo. Simple, straight to the point. It has that good, like, pop ad in your face kind of feeling, you know what I mean? So aesthetics, especially for like a regular demo, I think it's solid for sure. So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, again, relatively solid. Get up off your ass, very motivational, like, get to your dreams, get to your money, don't be lazy, like, kind of be consistent, always be a grinder. And I think it's a very motivational, very positive song. You know what I mean? I think Chris did a really good job kind of sharing that from their perspective, I would say. You know what I mean? So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge, huge shout out to Nomi, Chris, and Sean. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, just like Music Mondays just did. They're only 4 followers away from 180, so make sure you go show them some love there in the cloud. And of course, make sure you go follow Chris on Twitter. They're approaching 1.3K on the Bird app, so make sure you go show them some love. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Mondays. So, let's see here. We're about halfway through the show. So, what we are going to do is take a quick commercial break. So, I'm going to need all you guys to get up, go walk the dog, go get a drink, go get a snack, go do whatever you need to do. And when we return, we're going to dive into the rest of our community submissions. So, don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays podcast, episode 256. I hope you had a good break. Oh, feeling, but let's get right back into the community review. Jacob, thank you for the stream and welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream and failing. Fucking get it. Much love. But we left off with the homie Chris Deshawn. Up next is the homie Smoking Cola. Now they submitted another Bandcamp track. Now Smoking Cola, a multi-genre artist and producer, came through, like I said, with a brand new track. Let's get into it. I'm down. Thanks, he most appreciated. Of course, my friend. Welcome on in. Let's see. Looks like this is brand spanking new. We got some lyrics and description as well. October 31st. So still relatively new for sure. All right, well, let's get into some new Smoking Cola. I'm down.
Bloody soils of Asia,
Wow. That was heavy. That was definitely heavy. Well done though. I like it. I like it. Really well done. Like even the tags really well describe it down here as well. I think garage rock is a really good way to put it. Post punk, it definitely has that good gritty feeling to it for sure. But this is off their full length project Arbalest, Arbutus actually. Sorry. Um, this is the last track on the project actually. Very interesting. Okay, okay. Buddhists is a core of the song explaining how we do and how we don't fit in society and modern culture. Each one chasing a path to some resolution. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so there's some deep themes here for sure. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of the track. So, instrumental, gritty, heavy, but very solid. Fits the theme, and amplifies the vocals really well. So I like the instrumental a lot. Um, but the mix is good. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, especially with like a live instrument bass instrumental. If there's anything that I thought like ultimately need to be switched up here, definitely not. I'm definitely a fan of the instrumental mix all the way through and through. Um, Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, gotta be the melodies, right? I think the melodies are fucking crazy. Drums are good, but I think the melodies pack like a really big punch here and are very, very gritty. So I think we're gonna go with melodies for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, gritty vocal mix, but doesn't really affect the quality, right? It hits the style really well. So I think Smoke and Cold did a really good job with the vocal mix as well. Um, Again, thinking back on it, nothing I would like ultimately up because it hits the nail on the head when it comes down to that gritty style that this track is going for sure. So the vocal mix definitely up there. Vocal Shining Star. Uh I do like the writing, but I think the flow and cadence and delivery kind of takes the cake here. The flow and cadence and delivery is very, very like in your face. You know what I mean? So I think flow and cadence and delivery is up here for this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. Having a single cover for this track is actually, uh, but man, talk about a forest cover here. Dark, very deep. Coca-Cola left, title bottom right. I think it gets the job done, especially for a single. If you're gonna, release this outside of the album, right? So, aesthetics definitely on point for sure. So, overall theme, I think relatively, obviously has to do with the title, right? But you know, the Arbutus kind of description here gives a really good idea of the theme that was, um, you know, kind of cultivated by Smoke and Cola, right? Inspired by everything from post punk, um, grunge to indie pop to hip hop. Yeah, it's sure to have something for everyone. That's sick. That's sick. So this is a little bit more of a variety project, which I think is awesome. But overall theme very self-explanatory. Not something I would like dig super deep into, but I think Smoke and Cola did a really good job explaining it for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Smoke and Cola. Make sure you go follow them on Bandcamp, by the way. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are approaching 1.3K on the Bird app, so make sure you go show them some love over here on Twitter. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Buddy channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Nice. Well done, my friends. So, let's see here. We left off with, homie Smoking Cola. Up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious, a multi-talented producer, editor, designer, engineer, writer, all the above. This came through with a brand new YouTube upload, Dancing in Your Room. Now, recently, their YouTube uploads have been fucking fantastic, especially when it comes down to concepts and editing. But I have no doubt this one will be right along the same line, for sure. Let's see what we got here. Dancing in Your Room. Let's go 720. That picture's insane. That was hilarious. W description. Songs used per usual. Okay, let's get into it. Offspring Series, Dancing in Your Room. Let's go.
Okay, nice. Mushroom. I don't think I was giving it 9. That was not good to see. That was pretty lucky.
Song on my. Think of it. Oh, what is that? Oh. Huh? Headphones in the. We're about to get into
I've been stuck in my way for a while. I just wanna make you happy, make you smile. I remember waiting for you to come back. Dancing in my room, dancing in my room, dancing in my room, dancing in my room. Now it's just inside my head, yeah, the memory blooms. Now I'm stuck inside my bed, watch the clock move. I don't wanna wait, baby, so I'm coming soon. Heart burns, girl, you're sexy. Cut back, Christine. I got bad, it's all changing for you.
Just a rock bottle is hilarious.
Whenever I can see your face, starts to fall apart. But it's still your time with me. I know you want to. I can see it in your eyes, so I don't get all the paranoid. I've been stuck in my way for a while. I just wanna make you happy, make you smile. I remember waiting for you to come back. Dancing in my room, dancing in my room, dancing in my room, dancing in my room. Now it's just inside my head, yeah, the memory blooms. Now I'm stuck inside my bed, watch the clock move. I don't wanna wait, baby, so I'm coming soon.
I can't do. What the? That's got locked in. That was crazy. Jeez. That was well done. I like that one a lot. That one felt very like refreshing for some reason. I can't really put my finger on why, but it felt very refreshing. Especially with like all the shots being like inside. I feel like that was a really, really good play. Um Shining Star here. I do like the concept, right? But I think ultimately the Shining Star has to go to the edit to Dancing in My Room. I think the edit to Dancing in My Room was probably the cake on this one because you mix that in with the story and it goes really well. So definitely the edit for sure. Well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Offspring Series. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel, by the way. They're only 7 subs away from 250. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're only 10 followers away from 100 or 820. So make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube. Ooh. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there. You know, make sure you can show these artists on the channel some love. Get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you. Let's fucking get it, baby. So, we left off with the homie Offspring Serious. Up next is the homie Most Dope Kimon, a multi-genre talented hip-hop artist. Came through with a audio for Bae, Where You Going? Yeah, I don't think we've reacted to this one yet. Damn, okay. Yeah, Kimon's been killing it recently, especially with a lot of their recent releases. Their smaller projects and some of their visuals have just been fucking crazy. But I have no doubt that this will definitely follow everything up. Let's see what we got here, though. Cover is actually really fucking sick. All right, let's go 720. Fraud's inscription, December 7th. So a couple weeks ago, not super old at all. Definitely not super old at all. All right, let's get into it. Most Dope Kimon, Bae, Where You Going? Let's go. Wow. Did it again. Fucking did it again. Well done. Well done. It just seems like Kimon's found like, you know, a new like fire to just like have fun with music again, you know what I mean? Not that they ever stopped or anything like that, but you can tell their music they're just having a lot of fun right now currently, you know. I don't know what changed or whatever, but it seems like they're just having a ton of fun. and are very passionate about it, right? But like I said, they always really have. Um, but well done. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of "Baby Where You Going." Let's see here. Let's talk instrumental again. I love the choice. Kemon's a very good instrumental chooser when it comes down to their tracks. They know how to pick beats for sure. Stuff that they know that they would sound good on, and this one's no different. But the instrumental mix is great. Drums are great. Nothing like super clashing or too overbearing or something that I would like really switch up on the instrumental. Definitely not. No way. I think the instrumental mix is actually very, very, very solid, especially the drums. Especially the drums. Um, Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, I was thinking about it, and I was like, the drums are up there, but I think for this one in specific, I think we're gonna have to go structure for sure. We're gonna have to go structure, 100% for sure, just because of the way that everything kicks in, and then like towards like the later half of the song, I think the structure is like much more noticeable as well. So yeah, we're gonna have to go structure on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals again. Vocal mix very solid, especially in terms of like quality and levels. I feel like the vocal mix is very much on point. Kimon has a very consistent vocal mix, so not really a shocker to us, but something I always want to point out for anybody new here. But vocal mix on this one was solid, especially in terms of quality and levels. Very, very consistent for sure. Um, Vocal Shining Star, on the other hand, um, writing and lyrics are up there, I would say, but I think for this one, we're gonna go flow and cadence and delivery. I think the flow and cadence and delivery really made this bouncy and fun and just kind of like, it's very hard not to nod your head to it, So, flow and cadence and delivery for sure. The instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Talk theme, aesthetics. Kind of like a screen grab from a recent music video, and I think this is a really good fucking choice. Gritty, dark, dirty, but still has that like freshness to Kimon, right? So I think the aesthetics are very point, especially for like an exclusive YouTube upload. Solid, very solid aesthetics for sure. Overall theme. Again, I wouldn't dig too deep for a theme on this one. I just feel like Kimon was having fun. You know what I mean? It's one of those like not really braggadocious, but it's still like talk your shit kind of songs, and it's just fun. You know what I mean? It makes you nod your head. It makes you like, it makes you feel confident. I would say, right? So yeah, I wouldn't dig too deep for a theme here. This is definitely one of those ones where you just gotta enjoy Kimon as an artist for sure, 100%. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie, Kimon. Make sure you go show him some love over here on Lovely Boy Flex. Go sub to their channel. They are only 9 subs away from 30, so make sure you go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Most of Kimon on Twitter as well. They're only 8 followers away from 30, so make sure you go show them some love of the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Monday channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Saturday, podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some of the. You already have. Thank you. We appreciate you here at Mondays. Fucking get it, baby. Well done. Let's see. We left off with the homie Most Dope Kimon. Up next is the homie Mac 2 Times, a very, very talented hip hop artist. Came track titled At the Top. Now, Mac 2 Times, for what we've heard recently on the show over the last couple months, has had a really, really solid single fucking run. Everything from their mix to their vocals to everything is just fucking insane. So let's see what we got here. Like I said, they submitted a track titled At the Top. Get into it. Oh, it's actually a little unreleased too. Okay, a little unreleased of At the Top. Shit. Rabbi Luca. All right, Mac, I'm down. Unreleased Mac 2 Times Music Monday's premiere. At the Top.
Luca, that's crazy. This life been way too fast, I feel the end so close. I'm really trying to get closer to that pot of gold. This year the closest ones been leaving left and right, they gon' realize I gotta hurry up, it's time to reach my goals. Oh, it's just me and myself, the only one on this road. Right now I'm feeling alone, it's for the best I know. I know that some of y'all get me, but not everybody ready to admit they true feelings. I can't call you R. Kelly. Lying through your teeth, that ain't white, nah you ain't Betty. To each they own, it's all good, long as you get the fatty. Keep all the fakes in my rear, won't let no salt in my ear. To be honest, I just wish that all y'all would disappear. Since my grannies ain't been here, why I been feeling fear? Like I got no more time and my own death coming near. This life been way too fast, I feel the end so close. I'm really trying to get closer to that pot of gold. This year the closest ones been leaving left and right, they gon' realize I gotta hurry up, it's time to reach my goals. Need to achieve my dreams before it's time to go. I wanna be at the top, right now that's all I know.
Wow.
Right now I'm feeling alone, it's for the best I know. I
Holy
wanna
shit.
be at the top, right now that's all I know. Right now I'm feeling alone, it's for the best I know.
Great R&B vibe here.
I wanna be at the top, right now that's all I know. I wanna be at the top, right now that's all I know.
Cadence is crazy too.
Please let me be at the top, cause I've been striving for it.
Well done. Well fucking done. That was crazy. That was filled with emotions, man. Holy shit. You know, Mac Two Times has always had that emotional side of their music, but this one definitely pushed on the more emotional R&B vibe. You know, especially like with the piano. And I think they did a fucking fantastic job. Well done. Well done. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental. We're going to talk about vocals. We're going to talk about the overall theme of At the Top. So, instrumental, very simple, straight to the point. Have a really, really solid piano loop here. I think it's super well utilized, but the mix is very, very solid. Vocals sound great on it. Piano isn't like really clashing with any vocals or anything like that. I think the instrumental mix is definitely up there for sure, especially like with, you know, what Mac Two Times kind of did on it. The instrumental mix is awesome. So, instrumental mix solid. Like I said, simple, straight to the point. Instrumental Shining Star, obviously, definitely the melody, fantastic. Definitely brings that emotional kind of side, even more so than usual to Mac Two Times. So, instrumental Shining Star, definitely the melody for sure. Vocals, vocal mix, probably one of the best we've seen from Mac Two Times, especially with this more melodic style. I love this vocal mix. Nothing to gripe about here at all. I think it meshes well with the piano. Vocals sound really solid on it. A lot of the ad libs and the melodic parts are fucking mint. You know what I mean? So definitely no gripes here when it comes down to the vocal mix. No way. Vocal Shining Star, on the other hand. Man, this one's hard because the writing is beautiful. The writing is really, really solid. Honest writing, motivational writing. But the flow and cadence and delivery and how everything is performed really takes this song to the next level. It's just so melodic. I think we got to go flow and cadence and delivery here. We just have to, man. We just have to. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Stock theme, aesthetics. Again, a very solid Mac Two Times type of cover at the top and the bottom mid. And then we have the mountain in the background. I think that's a great, great way to represent this, especially, you know, at the top, you know, at the top of your goals, at the top of a mountain. You know what I mean? A very similar idea there. So I think Mac Two Times did a good job when it comes down to aesthetics. Overall theme, climbing at the top, being at the top. You know, I believe that, you know, if you have any type of passion, you know what this feeling is like. And you just want to be the greatest. You just want to be one of the best. You just want to be one of the best at what you do. and you want to accomplish a lot of goals, man. And this song definitely kind of symbolizes that, I would say. You know what I mean? So Mac Two Times does a really good job kind of laying out their feelings on this one, but also kind of being motivating as well to anybody else that kind of feels the same way that they do. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Mac Two Times. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, and of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. We're only 5 followers away from 190 on the Bird apps. Make sure you go show them some love there on Twitter. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. If you haven't already, we're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you, my friend. Much love. We appreciate you. Even if you just like the videos, dropping some comments, watching the videos, we appreciate you. So, we left off the homie Mac 2 times. Up next would be the homie Jordan and Ghost, but they are currently Music Mondays patrons, and we've already reacted to them earlier in the show. So definitely go check out the beginning of episode 256, and make sure you go show Jordan and Ghost some love, and the rest of our Music Mondays patrons. Man, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Up next, and our last submission of the night is the homie Black Brains, a very talented hip hop producer. Came through the track titled Rot. Let's see what we got here. It's been a couple weeks since we heard from Black Brains, so I'm down to see what they've been. For sure. We got Entra Pie on the track as well. Okay. Cover's fantastic. More that like hand design here, you know what I mean? Almost looks hand painted as well, actually. But regardless, Black Brains and Entra submitted a track titled Rot. It came out December 13th, so literally less than 10 days ago. Brand spanking new. Let's get into it.
Did you let the blood clot? Got the bandage around the wound in your hand. Now you're ripping off, dripping from your chin. Do you think that it'll stop? Stitches might fix it, but it's gonna leave a scar. Now you're caught up in your plot. Image in your head make you think that you're a god. Twisted sense of value's gonna keep your lips locked. Never got a question if you never give it thought. Bounce to the next, know what you got. Only stick around if you think you take a spot. Don't know who you are, but you know what you're not. Best in bed projections think they'll take you to the top. I'ma leave your corpse to rot. Getinejé, copy Molly, Apila, or rock. Got you on the list, yeah, you made the final cut. Blade over the fire till it's glowing red hot. Be careful what you see, cannot see deep in the abyss. Isolated chamber and I'm tweaking off the elements. Dream states, seascapes, the ethers feel like heaven when I'm drifting off elixirs. Got me thinking it's the medicine. Another fucking clown runs around, remain irreverent. Wicked kid, manic, no annex, brief development. Run that mouth a lot, loss of plot, still irrelevant. Magic stunned blind, come to find third eye celibate. Ain't got much option, but this ain't no contest. Is this what you wanted? Okay, let's get started. You call it a problem, I'll make it a problem. You bore me to tears and I'm fucking exhausted, so just let me know. I'll be running the gauntlet. I'm back on my shit while you're losing your logic. I'm ready to go get your head fucking solved and you're lost in abyss. I'm who leads you haunted. So let's ride, set the bar sky high.
What?
Get 'em to my level, don't settle, let 'em climb. Metal gets tested, leave unrest within the mind. I never waste a sentence, why you wasting all my time? Still wonder why, how about you open your eyes? The notion of a vision is the same as going blind. Tending to your crop is not a concern of mine. Got a field of my own, homestead upright.
What? Bro, the flow switch ups in this were so unexpected. I did not think that was gonna come through. What the fuck? Oh man, and the instrumental's fantastic. Holy shit. Wow. We just gotta talk about this. We definitely just gotta talk about this. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. And we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Rot. Instrumental. So, prod Black Brains, of course. Fantastic. absolutely fantastic. Their instrumentals are always so unique, but also so consistent. And this one kind of falls in that category as well. I love the choice. Definitely works well for Entra's kind of versatile sort of style when it comes out of their vocals. But instrumental mix, fantastic. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Nothing I would like ultimately switch up on this one. I think vocals sound good on top of it. Sound selection was great, very unique, but also like doesn't make it like too like experimental. You know what I mean? It kind of hits a nice sweet spot for sure. So um, instrumental mix, definitely fantastic. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, wow, this one's kind of tough. I like the structure a lot. I'd say drums are up there. Um, hmm, melodies are up there too, though. I feel like the melodies kind of really set a bouncy tone for intro, so I feel like I want to go melodies on this one. But the drums are up there. Um, yeah, let's go melodies on this one. Let's definitely go melodies on this one. So instrumental solid, definitely melodies. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is fantastic, especially when you factor in the flow switches that we have here. It's just absolutely fucking great. I think the mix across the board for the whole track was fantastic, and I think Entra did a really good job. So no gripes with the vocal mix at all. Like I said, nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything like that. Drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nice on the instrumental. I think Entra did a really good job for sure. The whole track across the board is like really well mixed. Per usual, not really a shocker to us. Something I always want to point out for anybody new here. Um, so vocal mix solid, vocal shining star, definitely in the flow and cadence and delivery. I was not expecting the flow switch ups here. Writing was up there too. I do like the writing, but the flow and cadence and delivery is just like, wow, you know what I mean. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Stock theme, aesthetics. Again, this one's definitely done by hand, and I think it's fucking really real done. It has that good like third eye mystical kind of like stuff that the track kind of mentions throughout the song, and it kind of does feel like that as well. But aesthetics, especially for a single, absolutely fantastic. Especially like with how much detail you can see in this, it's just like come on, you know what I mean? Come on. So, aesthetics definitely on point for sure. Overall theme, rot. Um, letting your body rot and all that other stuff that was mentioned here definitely inspired the title a bit, but I wouldn't dig too deep for a theme on this one. This is one where you just gotta enjoy Black Brains and Entra for them as a duo and really kind of enjoy what they can do. You know what I mean? So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Black Brains. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow Black Brains on Twitter as well. They're only quite a few followers actually away from like about I'd say like 37 followers away from 1.8k on the Bird app. So make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube reel. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. So we have times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Yeah. And if you already have, thank you. So, my friends, that concludes episode 256 of the Music Mondays podcast. Let's give some shout outs. Let's show some love. Let's give some love to everybody in the chat. Let's talk about what's coming over the next couple of weeks and submissions and all that good stuff. So, per usual, huge shout out to everybody in the chat, man. You fucking amazing. Thank you. Huge shout out to the homie TDG. A huge shout out to the homie Ghost. And a huge shout out to the homie Jacob Teller. And welcome to the stream. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream and family, my friend. And anybody else that lurked and chilled, we appreciate you. Much fucking love. Outside of that, this episode will be available on the Music Mondays Patreon tonight, heading into Tuesday. So again, if you're curious and you missed the show and you want to go clip it, download it, or anything like that, this will be available on the Music Mondays Patreon tonight. Of course, huge shout out to everybody that did submit tonight. Huge shout out to the homie TDG, the homie Braden, the homie Chris Dashin, Smoking Cola, Offspring Mysterious, Most Dope Kimon, Mac 2 times, Jordan, Ghost, and the homie Black Brains. Man, you guys are fucking amazing. Thank you. Huge shout out to all of our current Music Mondays Patrons. You guys are fucking wonderful as well. Much love to anybody who's giving some love over there on Patreon. Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Great show, Z. Let's fucking get it, Jacob. Much love, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, my friend. Absolutely. Let's see here. So submissions will be live for episode 257 tomorrow on December 23rd. Make sure you follow us on social media at All Music Mondays, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, TikTok. Wherever you're at on social media, we are at. And again, like I said, submissions go live for episode 257 tomorrow. And then you can catch this episode on all audio platforms this Thursday on Christmas. And of course, you can catch it on YouTube this Saturday. So make sure you keep that in mind, my friends. Of course, like I said, outside of that, you can stream all the Music Mondays podcast episodes on anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. There are over 250 episodes over there on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. Definitely go check out the previous episodes. And of course, quite literally, make sure you guys have a happy holiday. Whatever you celebrate, make sure you have a good week. Make sure you go spend some time with loved ones. Make sure you go just kind of relax and get ready for the new year, my friends. So I hope you guys have a very, very good holiday break. And of course, I stream 5 to 6 days a week. I'm always over here doing speedrunning stuff, watch party stuff, reaction stuff. So make sure you tune into the kid every single day. And of course, we'll be live next week for episode 257 of the Music Mondays podcast. It's your boy, Tom Slays. Make sure you follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below. All the socials, all the good jazz is linked down below. Love you all. Take care. Be safe. And we'll see you tomorrow for a regular stream. We'll see you next week for episode 257 of the Music Mondays podcast. Well, let's fucking get it, baby.